I did a crazy thing yesterday. My mother, she's in the hospital. She has a very bad urinary tract infection. I'm not going to go into details on how that happens. It's the second time. It's a common occurrence for people her age and in her condition. But anyway, she was in ICU for a while. Now she's out of it. She's in a regular hospital room. So she's getting better. But yesterday I did a crazy thing. The hospital that she's in is only 2 miles from where I live. Only 2 miles. So yesterday I decided to walk there, get some exercise. That shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, for crying out loud, I've walked through parks with her, pushing her in a wheelchair while hauling a backpack filled with 15 to 20 pounds in camera gear. Can't be that bad, right? I didn't take into consideration the round trip concept, that in actuality I covered 4 miles, which is probably more than I ever did pushing her around in a wheelchair while carting around a backpack filled with 15 to 20 pounds in camera equipment. So yeah, I'm a little sore, but I'm going to do it again later on today. Take a walk down there and visit her for a couple of hours. On the way back home, I was going to time how long it took me to walk from one point to the other, and I got interrupted in the walk about halfway there. I hear this scream coming from behind me, and I turn around quickly, and I see on the other side of the street this black dog running along the sidewalk, and this girl, she must have been about 12 years old, chasing after her, screaming and crying, and I'm sitting there saying, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I'm standing there. I said, please don't go into the traffic. And this other woman pulled her car over to try and assist in catching the dog, and then all of a sudden, the dog did what I feared, and that was jump the curb. And the minute that dog jumped the curb, I jumped the curb. And crazy psycho me stood out in the middle of the street waving my hands, trying to stop traffic. And meanwhile, a little voice in the back of my mind is saying, are you out of your fucking mind, Dominic? I mean, we're not talking about a human being here. It's a fucking dog, okay? And yeah, I know we like dogs, Dominic. We love dogs, and we'd hate to see it get run down. But Dominic, what are you doing out in the middle of the street? But hell, like Moses, I held up my hands, and boy, the cars, they parted. They just stopped. And then they saw this dog. Another car pulled over, and this dog obviously lacked training. It was running around. It didn't want to come to the owner, the little girl. Didn't want to come to me. And then another guy, he got up on the curve on my side, and then another guy pulled over and tried to corral him. And then he ran across the street again, and now there's 2 people, me and the other guy, in the middle of the street, trying to nab this dog amongst this traffic. And now they start blowing their horns at us and the dog. Finally, the dog ran down the street there where it lives. And I said to the little girl, I says, why don't you have a leash on that dog? And she says, I do have a leash, but it's at home. And I noticed looking at that dog that it didn't even have a collar on. So obviously what happened was it probably ran out the front door. They left the gate open in the yard and it ran out. So I continued on with my walk. Now that was over. And now as I'm walking, I begin to talk out loud to myself. Irresponsible dog owners. They leave the frickin' door open or the frickin' gate open and let the dog run out. Stupid people. Stupid. And by the way, you're welcome. Yeah. I put my ass on the line for her fucking little dog, and she doesn't even thank me or the other guy. That's gratitude for you. Then I reached into my pocket to take out my cell phone to look at the time. And I'm saying to myself, what the fuck are you bothering me for, Dominic? I mean, it's all screwed up now. I mean, what are you going to take, 10, 15 minutes off from that little fiasco? No, it's fucked. It's fucked. Fuck it. And the people I'm passing by as I'm talking to myself are just giving that look like, oh my God, this man's crazy. Crazy as in what terms? Crazy to jump out in traffic to save a dog's life? While covering a 4-mile walking trip to go see my mother in the hospital? Do you think that's crazy? No, I'll tell you what's crazy. Crazy are the people who voted for Jerry Brown. That's crazy. That's a special kind of crazy. That actually crosses the line into insanity. I'm saying this because when I got home, I had myself some water. Warm water, not cold water. It's no good to drink cold water after heating up your body like I did. That's a bad thing to do. But anyway, Yeah, the exercising guru here, Mr. Physical Fitness, Jack LaLanne incarnate. Yeah, right. Anyway, I sat down in front of my computer and started watching YouTube videos. And I came across this video on the sidebar of recommended videos about Leslie Van Houten. And the title of the video said, Leslie Van Houten paroled. And I said, what is this, clickbait? What's going on here? So I clicked it on, and I guess this happened in January. I guess I haven't been paying attention to anything involving the Manson family since Charlie died. And apparently the parole board decided to parole her, to grant her parole. And Governor Jerry Brown denied her parole. Now, let me tell you straight out what I think about Charlie Manson and his family. They're scum. As far as I'm concerned, Leslie Van Houten should rot in jail. I don't care that she's become a model prisoner. I don't care that she's educated herself and has made a difference in prison and this and that. I don't care. The woman destroyed lives under the orders of Charlie Manson. I'm going to be honest with you. There's only one thing that Charlie Manson ever said that I can agree with that's a little bit funny. Because it's true. He says, I didn't kill anybody. I don't have to kill anybody. I think it. And it's true. I mean, we all think horrible things about certain people that we don't like, that piss us off. We want to kill them in our minds. But we don't do it physically, but we do it in our minds. So that's a little true. That was the thing with Charlie Manson, is that he liked to clip kernels of truth and wrap them around his rhetoric, just like politicians and the mainstream media does, you know. But getting back to Leslie Van Houten, the parole board finally decided to grant her parole. And Governor Moonbeam, Jerry Brown, said, no, I'm overriding that. We're not letting her out because she still lays too much blame on Charlie Manson. If it was anybody else other than you, Governor Moonbeam, I would have no problem with that. Absolutely none. But with you, Governor Moonbeam, you're the same guy who declared California a sanctuary state. You are the same guy who opened up the borders, allowing the likes of MS-13, those animals. Yes, Nancy, they are animals. They haven't a glimmer of divinity in them. They're animals. They're murderers. They're rapists. They behead people. They force young girls into prostitution. And you and Jerry Brown protect them. You offer them sanctuary. So no, Leslie Van Houten, you cannot be paroled. We will not let you out because you still lay too much blame on Charlie Manson. However, we welcome with open arms murderers, rapists, drug dealers, and MS-13 in particular across our borders illegally, and protect them. Give them sanctuary. And why are we doing this? Because Donald Trump's a racist. And they call me crazy. Thanks for stopping by and for tuning in. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until we talk again, I want you all to be well and enjoy life.